and they concentrate on creating a new Hebrew, and that's the language that they speak today. But they're full of shit by ignoring and denying Yiddish.
Do you have a particular? Because you're so political. You're so well thought and well read. Do you think? Can you think of how you would solve the Palestinian?
Yeah,
Israel?
I'd create a second state. That's what I'd do.
You would. So you would have a second
You're
state.
goddamn right.
All right. But then that would require them pulling out of the Gaza Strip, right?
They're going to be screwed no matter how they do it, because the indigenous Muslims in Israel are growing at a high rate, and they're going to be commanding a greater and greater population center, and Israel could easily have gotten rid of that by creating that Western state in the West Bank and having the Muslims declare their own state there, and it would alleviate some of the population explosion that they're going through in Israel proper.
I wonder why they don't do that then. I mean, it sounds simple coming out of your mouth, but
because they're verblunget.
Do you worry what's going to happen? I mean, do you think? What do you? I know. I'm sure I know how you would feel about Trump, but what do you think? Do you think do you have a thought about it? Like, do you think he's going to last out his presidency, or do you?
Who, Trump?
Trump, or do you think they might?
Well, I mean, it's the first time we've had a clown for president.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying,
So,
what do you think?
I don't know when the people get tired of clowns or not. But it all depends what Mueller comes up with, if he ever gets over his constipation.
Do you think he's constipated? I think he's working pretty fast. You think he's constipated?
Well, he's not delivering anything, is he?
But I think he's being thorough.
It's time for caca.
Well, he can't. You can't look at Watergate was years. I think that they were indicting people after Nixon was out, right after that term had ended.
They came up very quickly though with indictments.
I thought it.
He didn't last as president.
Well, he didn't. But he was in his second term.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think
long,
about it.
long.
This is pretty. I think this is going faster, don't you? What do you think?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't think so?
Well, I don't know. It's still the first year of Trump. So.
Well, what do you think about? Do you think we might go to war with North Korea? I mean, what do you think?
Do I get to vote?
I mean, yeah, because people talk about this all the time.
I mean, if
It's
he's
on our thoughts.
going to build this up into military action
Right.
before a bomb has fallen, then he ought to have his ass whipped.
But when that bomb was falling, where do you think that bomb would fall? In South Korea or here?
Here.
Well, so you think we
Or
should?
Guam.
You think we should wait?
He might make it Guam because there wouldn't be a lot of high death.
But I'm just curious. What do you think we should wait? That's the way you got to do it, right? You got to
I
wait
think
till
he ought
we're
to
hit.
shut his mouth.
Well, he would never do that. But I'm just saying. Do you think that we can't? Yeah, we can't be proactive. We have to wait until something happens, until a lot of death.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more worried about not certifying Iran as qualifying for its sanctions, as we should go back and break off that treaty with Iran.
You think we should?
No, of course I don't.
Good, okay.
Which every European country who signed on to it, including Russia, would not want us to do. But Israel wants it. So he's kowtowing to Israel if he denies Iran. And I'm not sure that he will. But if he denies Iran, then that's really looking for trouble.
I didn't know that. Why does Israel want it?
Why does Israel want what?
Him to break the treaty with Iran.
Because they more or less do business with Saudi Arabia, the vital enemy of Iran. So, for instance, in Yemen, Iran is supporting the rebels in Yemen. We're bombing the crap out of them. And so we're supporting Saudi Arabia in various different ways. And they're the most bloodthirsty bastards you can find.
And you think we're doing that because of oil or for other reasons as well?
Yeah, oil, sure. Oil.
So you think when we become less dependent on oil, do you think
When
we
is
become
that
less
going to happen,
dependent?
Tootsie?
Well, you know what? They had electric cars in the 50s.
I don't care what
Right?
they
You
had
know
in
that.
Yeah, fine.
And it is coming more and more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
Well, no, it is, but
Yeah. He doesn't believe in global warming. What are you supposed to do?
I know. But when I just think that your plight, your political plights, I mean, when you were talking about single health insurance, single payer, years ago before anyone was ever talking about it.
I was just trying us to emulate those countries that do well for the sick.
But nobody else was doing it because you've been talking about single payer since when? Since what
I
year?
don't know that I have, but I certainly have supported it forever.
But this is what I think is interesting. You'll be 88 November 15th. You're just as vital and just as active and just as caring. And I know you must know a lot of people, right? Your same age, and they just give up. They go, I'm old, I don't want to be bothered. You know what I mean? They just want to go away.
I don't want to be bothered either.
I know, but you do want to be bothered because you're still on all these boards, advisory boards.
I could be home reading the great books.
Well, I want to know, who would you like in 17? I know that you supported...
This is 17.
18, 20. Next one.
Pick a number, honey.
The next one on 20. Because I wouldn't call you a Democrat, right? You
I'd
aren't a Democrat.
rather be a socialist.
So you really are a socialist. Yeah, you're a socialist. So did you like Bernie Sanders? Did you think he was a socialist?
I liked him. I thought he did a good job of bringing importance to the race. And I regretted when he dropped out. I like Elizabeth Warren, but she's a woman and controversial. And I doubt if she'd outperform, what's her name, Hillary? So I don't know who. Biden, I guess.
I like
in
him
the
too.
end,
I like him too.
If they can talk him into running, I think he'd sweep it.
Oh, you think so? Even though he's like a little older,
Oh, yeah. So what?
Yeah, you know he's on the new. He just what was it? 6 months ago, maybe he's on the new 9/11 advisory board.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that because obviously you've gotten a lot of flack about that.
Well, no, I just find idiot goggle eyes when I talk to people. People don't want to hear it.
I do.
Oh, I do too.
So could you because they're like, when I went onto it and saw it on YouTube, people, the internet's kind of crummy because they can give their views. They have no name, no face. They can just say it. Are your beliefs, what's that noise? Oh, a plane. God damn it. What could they do? We're doing our podcast here. What's the matter with them? I got Ed Asner.
This is a cultural capital of the world,
If you, did you feel, so you believe that this is true. So when you think that there were people in the U.S.
There are traitors in the U.S.
And we still don't know who they are.
No.
And it was true that when the plane hit the building, that the people the Saudi's family that was living in Texas or in various places in the U.S., the only planes that were allowed to fly was Saudi families,
well, that's
right?
proven.
Of Osama, yeah.
I mean, even the commission.
Did they agree to that?
Phony commission could not deny that.
Who ran that? Was that Gerald Ford? He ran that commission. Who was on that
can't
commission?
I
thought it was somebody that I thought would have been more...
Somebody unimportant.
Yeah, but no, I thought that they would
Gerald Ford would never have butchered the goddamn investigation like they did.
Well, they say that they did it in...
Oh, it was that congressman... Oh, shit.
That's okay. So you think that it'll get reopened?
No.
I don't really think so.
I think the majority of people don't want to hear the horrors.
I think so.
Of American duplicity.
Exactly. And you did. And that's why you got punished.
Well, I didn't get punished.
I mean, would you do it again?
Do what again?
Be outspoken and verbal when you were there?
I am now, aren't I?
No, when you had Lou Grant was on the air.
It's hard to tell.
And you were the Screen Actors Guild president.
It's hard to.
Marina.
There's Speedy Gonzalez.
Marina, the wild driver. She's the one that got
yeah.
killed in the accident.
That blind bitch.
He doesn't mean it, honey.
Oh, yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't mean it.
It's hard to tell what I would do now as opposed to then, because I was proceeding, and it's only when I was asked that question at the conference where we were defining medical aid, and the guy asked me the question, if you had so-called free elections in El Salvador and they turned out a communist government, how would you feel about that? And I avoided the question in the beginning, went on to another guy and gave another lame answer, and was so plagued by guilt I went back to the second guy. And I said the sentence that doomed me as far as activity in Hollywood went. I said, if it's the government the people of El Salvador choose, let them have it. And I suffered a blacklist of sorts. Wake up!
No, I mean that's pretty profound, because the people that were, like, say the people that, like, what did you say? The Kleenex company had a company in San Salvador, and then there were Cadbury, Kimberly Clark, and then there were two other English companies that had factories there.
Vidal Sassoon.
And
No,
Cadbury.
they didn't have factories there.
Oh, but they
cut under. And,
yeah, but they pulled the advertising.
Vidal Sassoon and Cadbury's.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's so much more outspoken, but it's in a way.
Besides today?
Yeah, today. And he just got back from where were we at? Colorado.
Are you in Colorado?
And he's constantly being asked to promote, endorse, support a lot of different activities and needs.
Well, that's the way it goes. Yeah.
But you meet the needs, and he's able to do it. I mean, it isn't like 88. I came from old parents. Like, my mother was almost 50 when she had me, and my father was 56. So, I was a surprise. She said it was two martinis on the boat back from Tachikawa. That's how I happened. So, but so I came from older parents, but it's an interesting thing because
My parents were old.
Were they old when they had you too? Because you were the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, here's what I want to know. When you said you suffered, you felt the guilt forever, probably, because you said that your father was very, bless you, was very physically and mentally abusive to your other siblings. So he was not to you?
No.
And why do you think that is?
And it's terrible.
Yes, but
I mean, not terribly. It wasn't terribly. They weren't psychotics.
I know.
But I mean,
it was accepted.
I was
in those
raised with such fear of father by my siblings and my mother that he never once laid a hand on me. And
Why? Because you were
keep thinking,
perfect good? I mean,
if only he had laid a hand on me.
What do you mean?
Oh, I wish he had laid a hand on me.
You think that now, or you thought that then?
I think it now.
You do. And why do you think
I,
it
of
now?
course, became the good boy so that he would lay a hand on me.
But why do you say that now? Because you think you'd be someone different? You'd stand up for yourself more?
Well,
You
because the circumstances make me idolize him in the past, maybe more than he should be, because he was this figure that never struck me. And everybody else got struck. Why shouldn't I? I was denied.
But do you think he was just maybe too old, or did he drink? Was
He
he
wasn't
preoccupied?
too old. No, he didn't drink.
He didn't drink.
No.
But he was a
He
volatile
did drink on days
that he worked.
that it was a mixture of cloudy and sunny. And now, what are you laughing at?
You.
No, he would get disturbed somehow or other, psychologically disturbed, and he would need to take a shot.
Oh, well, that
And
okay.
overcast messed with his equilibrium.
Well, they say Jews don't drink.
Oh, that's bullshit.
No, but this is what they say. They say, and Jews say this, that, the country clubs, they don't make money on the Jews in the bar tab. They only make it on the food. And Irish people, they make all the money in the bar. You know what I mean? So that's what,